Now it's time for today's perspective on the programme. And today we're trying to answer, or helping you to answer, one of the oldest and most fundamental questions on the planet. Quite simply, what is love? Well, of course, it might be different things to different people, or is it, in fact, the same for everyone? Well, who knows? One couple who certainly do know more about it than most of us are Andela and Davor Rostuhar. After they got engaged, they started asking questions to themselves about why they were in love, so they decided to tour the world to try to help find the answer. And they've turned their experiences into a book and a documentary film, a quest, if you like, to try to find the answer. And they join us now from Zagreb. Thanks very much for joining us on the programme. So tell us a bit more about how this came about. I mean, it was just after you got engaged, is that right?
Hello, nice to be with you.
Good morning.
Hi. So I applied for a job as a Davor assistant. He's a photographer, and soon after we fell in love. And we both love traveling, and we started working together on his expedition to South Pole. And on the way there, when we were sailing out to say goodbye to him, Davor proposed, and soon we started planning our honeymoon, and he asked, should we go on a 1-year journey around the world exploring what love is in different cultures? That's just some, maybe Davor can...
Yeah, I mean, Davor, you went to an awful lot of places, didn't you?
Yeah, I have been traveling and doing expeditions and different kinds of reporting and exploring around the world for the last 20 years. And this happened on my biggest expedition when I walked solo to the South Pole from the coast of Antarctica. And actually, this idea about love around the world was conceived on the coast of Antarctica, and then it was, and then we did it in 1 year when we traveled to 30 countries on all continents, and we were trying to find couples in all kinds of relationships and interview them, ask them same questions, record them, and try to answer, or at least come closer to understanding of what love actually is.
And Andela, there's a video, isn't there, of some of the people that you spoke to that kind of teases, if you like, the whole documentary. And it really shows the different types of people that you spoke to from so many different types of communities.
Yes, we talk to people across 30 countries, and we try to film it all, you know, people who are freshly fall in love, and people who celebrate their diamond anniversary, people who got married to themselves, people who are still searching for that special one, you know. So we try to document people in traditional polygamous relationship and modern polyamorous relationship, just to have the wide spectrum of the answers, what love is to them.
And it wasn't some of the couples, they're not even couples, are they? Some of them are 3 people, for example.
Yes, we documented some traditional polygamous relationship with 6 or 7 people, including marriage, and these modern ones. For example, we talked in Germany with a girl who is married to, not officially, but she's in a relationship with 2 men. They have a child together. They live in polyamorous relationship, for example.
And also we try to find some interesting traditional examples because we know that in 85% of cultures, polygyny was allowed, which means that men can have multiple wives, but the other way around, when one woman can have a few husbands, it's only happened in 1% of cultures that we know of, and today it exists only in few very remote valleys of Himalaya. So we managed, for example, to find this example in the remote valleys of Indian Himalaya.
That's incredible, the number of people that you've spoken to and the different range, such a range of people. So the big question is, this is the question that everyone wants answered, I suppose. Did you find the answer about what love is?
Well, this is a difficult question. There is many different answers. And of course, when we talk about abstract nouns, it's not one single answer that applies to everybody, but it's the meaning that we attribute to each I mean, each of us have a different point of view, and what we try to explore is all these different point of view, and to find, is there something universal in it? Is there like a nature? I mean, is it inherent in all of us, or we learn it through cultures? And what we learned is definitely that all of us have a capability to love, but depending on the culture where we grow, it can express in multiple ways. And of course, if there is some, I don't know, universal like answer to that, it's probably, I think every audience and every part of the people, I mean, each person who will watch the movie or see the or read a book will have a conclusion for themselves.
And Andela, what were some of the most common themes, do you think, that people came up with about what they thought love was?
It's usually respect, the one definition that I can relate to that happened that came out in a lot of conversations, especially with couples who are longer together. They would define love more like decision, decision to be with someone regardless of, I don't know, the butterflies are gone and maybe on the way problems happened. So that's something that we mostly with couples who are longer together. That's something that I can relate most to.
And what about your own relationship? Has the whole experience helped you to develop yourselves? I hope at this point you're not going to announce that you're getting divorced, for example.
Well, for sure, we learned a lot. And what we find interesting is to put our own thing into perspective, because when you travel around, when you learn about other cultures and other ways, then you can look at your own story from a different perspective. And this has definitely been very educative for us. And we have also changed some of our perspectives and deconstructed some illusions, or we learned and we got inspired by some couples that were maybe functioning better than we do, and we could learn from them. There were so many inspiring stories among these 120 couples that we interviewed. So I think it's a process, and actually we think, in my opinion, for love is that it is a process, it is a project, it is a journey, and on this journey, I think this was a good step for us to learn important lesson.
Great to hear your story. Great to hear about the book and about the documentary as well. If you want to look it up, it's called Love Around the World. Thanks very much for joining us there from Zagreb to Andela and Davor.